Hey, welcome back, everybody. We are going to talk about the parts of a research article now that you have found whatever article you are going to work on for the assignment. So this is really just about understanding what goes into academic research and how it's presented to the reader. So every academic article has 6 main elements. You're going to start with the title, author, and publication. You'll have an abstract. You'll have an introduction and literature review. You'll go into the methodology, and then you'll have the results, and the discussion and conclusion will be the final section of an academic research article. So the first portion is that title, author, publication section. The title should be briefly descriptive and kind of give you a brief idea of what the article will be about. The author's affiliations and credentials should be present, so you should know what institution they're affiliated with, as well as what their degree is. And then the title of the publication should also be apparent. So you should know what journal it's been published in or other conference proceeding it's been published in. The abstract is really important. This is where first thing you kind of want to read. It's a brief overview. It's 150 to 200 words. It's actually the last thing written of the article, although it appears at the beginning. It's a brief summary of the contents of that article, so it's going to give you a better idea of whether or not you want to proceed with reading the entire article. And it also may include a list of keywords that'll give you an idea of whether or not it's a good article for you. And then if you're going to continue on a research path of the same topic, it'll give you more ideas of keywords to use for your research. Next, we have the introduction and the literature review. And this provides a background on information of why the topic is important, and then what the researcher or researchers are hoping to find by conducting this particular research. The literature review goes over what existing research exists in the field, so what other people have studied already, and then what gaps exist in the research. So what's missing from what has been studied. And so that's kind of maybe what they're trying to fill with this particular study. Next is the methods or methodology. Depending on the field, the terminology might be a little different. Humanities and sciences are a little different. It can be qualitative or quantitative. Qualitative meaning this is more in the humanities, more theoretical, might be more in the psychology realm, dealing with persons. Quantitative is more hard numbers, more measurement. It goes over how the research was conducted, what was the actual process to gathering the data, what's our sample size, how many participants, individuals, subjects in the study, what's the demographics or population we're studying, if we're looking at children in a certain age range, or we're looking at sea turtles from a specific island. It's going to describe whatever subjects we are looking at. And then this methodology, it helps us reproduce the study later. And that's really important in academic research, is that all of these results are reproducible. We don't just take the word for it of the researcher. This is something we can do again later. So next is the results. It's just the facts. It's not an interpretation. It's just the information that was gathered. They're going to summarize the data that they got in that method section. They're going to use text, charts, graphs, tables, and that's going to make that data easy for you to review and understand. There's no explanation, no theories involved. It's just the data, just the facts that was collected. Now we get to the final section, which is the discussion and the conclusion. And this is where they interpret all that data that they gathered. And they provide an explanation of why did they come to this conclusion about all this data they collected, what theories goes into it, other previous research, and then they suggest new areas for further research. So we found this out, but we still don't know this. And so it just goes into this never ending cycle of improvement and new learning and new research. So the job of research and scholarly communication is never really done. It's an endless cycle. So now you have a little bit better understanding of what a research article is, what these different parts are, what they mean. I hope this makes reading a research article a little easier, and your next step will be doing the assignment of that involves reading your research article and answering some questions about the different parts of the research article you found. So good luck. And if you have any questions that come up, you can always email me. It's lauren.gibson@wosc.edu. Thanks.